Sauce the boss in the building. Sauce the boss in the building. Sauce the boss in the building. Sauce the
Sauce the boss, yo, sauce the boss, of course. Back on. Who else, man?
This might just
Sauce
change
the
the way
boss,
you
man. Of
look
course,
at the
Sauce.
unexplained.
Back
Now,
on.
before we dive into what's really going on here, brace yourself. Today's episode is stacked with jaw-dropping footage of cryptids and supernatural encounters. I'm Steve. This is Classified Captures.
I'm like, how could you be so mean? She's so perfect.
Rescuing strays is a noble thing to do until you rescue something like this. This dog was rescued by a couple in Puerto Rico. Just one look at it is enough to let you know something's different. The dog, now named Nina, had no fur, teeth that jutted permanently from her mouth, and what appeared to be missing or malformed eyelids. To most people, she looked less like a typical rescue, and more like a creature lifted straight from folklore, and that's where things started to get interesting. When the couple took Nina to the vet for a checkup, they jokingly remarked that she looked like a chupacabra, but instead of laughing, the vet simply nodded. They agreed. Nina really did resemble the infamous blood-sucking cryptid. With a thin, hairless body, protruding fangs, and haunting appearance, it's not hard to see why some people are calling her a real-life chupacabra. The resemblance is genuinely unsettling.
On this day, when all of America honors its fallen, we, the people of Israel, salute the American soldiers who have saved not only the United States, but the free world, time and again. Israel knows well.
But unlike the terrifying legend, Nina is anything but aggressive or bloodthirsty. She's gentle, affectionate, and all she really wants is a cozy spot to nap and a little love from her humans. In fact, the couple says she settled into a life as a house pet surprisingly well. Not everyone's convinced, though, and everyone includes scientists. They've been running genetic tests on Nina, hoping to uncover exactly what breed or mix of breeds she might be. So far, the results have only deepened the mystery. No single breed stands out in her DNA. It's likely she's the result of generations of stray dogs surviving in tough conditions, slowly evolving into something unique. At least that's the logical explanation. Many in the paranormal community believe her results are inconclusive because she's a chupacabra who fell in love with humans. Yeah, I know, sounds like a Disney film storyline, but do you guys have a better explanation?
Judge, and we look at things that are different and we don't necessarily love them.
Next, we got a strange image here that was captured by a trail camera. This time it caught something unusual. Standing just behind a bush is a creature. It has a vaguely ape-like appearance, and what really stands out are the glowing eyes and an oddly shaped head. Based on the height of the tree next to it and the bush it's partially hidden behind, this thing looks to be around 7 to 8 feet tall. That's taller than your average person. If you know anything about the paranormal community, you know that Bigfoot theories are already flying around. Now, skeptics are already jumping in, saying it could just be someone in a costume, but look closely at the image. Really look. If that were a person with the eyes glow like that, the glow doesn't look like a regular camera reflection. It looks almost internal, like the light is coming from inside. Okay, well, I might be exaggerating a little there, but all I'm trying to say is this thing looks like it's definitely not human. Maybe even proof that Bigfoots are out there, but then again, what do I know? It could just be my bias and love for the big guy. You guys could be more grounded in your description and explanation, so what do you think? Is this thing just an ape, or did the trail cam capture a Bigfoot? It's expected that by now, most people have heard the strange rumors about Tesla cars detecting things that the human eye can't see, including allegedly ghosts and unseen entities. But this next story adds even more fuel to that chilling story. A man was sitting in his Tesla parked right outside the emergency entrance of a hospital. The cameras were running, and everything seemed completely normal. But then, something unusual appeared on his Tesla screen. The car's sensors suddenly picked up multiple figures walking near the car. These outlines, usually meant to identify pedestrians, appeared to be moving around the vehicle, but when the driver looked around in real life, no one was there. He even used his phone to film this scene, panning the camera across the hospital entrance and parking area, and still nothing. Yet the Tesla insisted people were walking right beside the vehicle, not just one or two blips, but repeated movement as if invisible figures were walking back and forth. Now, we could chalk this up to just a glitch if this were the only time it ever happened, but it's not. There have been countless reports of Tesla vehicles detecting ghostly figures, especially near graveyards, hospitals, and accident sites. The pattern is hard to ignore. Some people believe that Tesla's advanced sensor systems may be picking up electromagnetic disturbances or energy signatures that our human senses cannot perceive. Simply put, ghosts. So are Teslas really seeing ghosts? Are the sensors defective, or is every single person posting these clips staging and lying about them?
Increase your profit and work less time with Kittle, a genius new AI tool which is perfect for.
And I come across this skull, and I want to believe that it's fake, but I'm just about to pull it out.
A man had gone down to clean out a shallow waterway. He brought along one of those long grabbers and was doing a pretty good job pulling garbage out of the murky water. But then, something caught his eye.
That's heavy. That's heavy. Oh, now I'm freaked out. That is heavy. It's all muddy now. I can't see it.
Down in the dark, cloudy water, you can make out the faint shape of what looks like a human skull. Yeah, a skull just sitting there buried beneath the silt and grime. Understandably shaken, the man immediately grabbed his phone and began filming as he tried to retrieve it. He used his grabber to reach in, but he said that the object was too heavy and it wouldn't budge. The tool kept slipping off. He tried several times. Each time he disturbed the water, it became more difficult to see. The dark mud swirled up, clouding the entire area. At one point, the skull seems to vanish in the thick, muddy water, but after waiting for it to settle, the man spots it again, just sitting there perfectly still.
I don't know if you can see it, but I think it's there. Yeah, there it is. I can just see it. That was heavy. Now, it looks like it's been there for a while, but I mean, it could just be a build-up of...
Now, here's the twist. Some viewers claim the video looks staged. The skull doesn't move away the way it should, and it might have been edited in the footage. Others argue that if it really was fake, why would the man struggle so much to get it out? You've seen the clip, so what do you think?
And I come across this skull, and I want to believe that it's fake, but I'm just about to pull it out and see.
Some say certain places hold on to memories, whether you call it residual energy, ghostly imprints, or just strange coincidences. These
About you, and it's no one else like you is what they're getting. Positive vibes only.
The next
Shout out
video
to
was
King
shared
Saul's
by
balls
someone
in
who
the
was simply
building.
walking past a quiet playground. The area was completely empty, but then they noticed the swing. There were several swings on the frame, but only one was moving. A blue swing, gently swaying back and forth as if an invisible child were still playing there. Now, you might think it's the wind, but here's the creepy part. Look around. The trees in the background are not moving. Everything else is perfectly still. So what's really going on here? Some believe this could be an example of what's called residual energy. It is a replay of past events trapped in a location and repeating itself over and over again. Maybe something happened on that swing years ago when the energy never left. Others say it's a haunting, a ghost perhaps, or just the spirit of a moment that refuses to fade. What do you think? If you love drinking tap water and live in the US, then this one's for you. Recent research has uncovered something alarming in much of the tap water across the United States. A highly toxic chemical known as chromium-6 has been detected in the water supply of millions of Americans. If that name sounds familiar, it's because it's the same chemical made infamous by the real-life case of Aaron Brockovich. And yes, it's been linked to cancer, reproductive harm, developmental problems, and birth defects. What makes this even more unsettling is that chromium-6 often goes undetected in routine water testing. It doesn't taste or smell any different, and the water still looks crystal clear, but the danger is very real. According to environmental groups, even trace amounts of this chemical over time can have devastating long-term effects. So how does it get into the water? Chromium-6 typically seeps in through industrial waste from factories, manufacturing plants, and old cooling towers. And once it's in the groundwater reservoirs, it spreads. Some cities have higher levels than others, but the truth is, this isn't just a local problem. We trust that when we turn on the tap, what comes out is safe, but in cases like this, that trust might be misplaced. I know I can't tell you what to do, but you might want to stop drinking water straight from the tap.
The brush popping stuff.
Your team's problems are becoming more complex. With Lucid, you can collaborate from get aligned, make big decisions, streamline work.
Oh, there you
What are
go.
you talking about? Really being held captive.
Jesus.
Back in 1999, Bigfoot researcher Paul Freeman went into the Blue Mountains of Washington State. Freeman had been able to real so many had only heard about, but on this particular trip, something strange happened. While making his way through the dense forest, Freeman suddenly heard branches snapping, heavy footfalls, and rustling coming from the trees nearby. Trusting his instincts, he quickly grabbed his video camera and began filming. And what he captured has remained one of the most talked about pieces of alleged Bigfoot footage to date. In the grainy but compelling video, you can see a large, upright figure estimated to be around 8 feet tall walking through the forest ahead of him. The creature appears muscular with a domed head and long arms that swing heavily as it moves. It vanishes into the trees after just a few seconds. Freeman's footage quickly spread across the paranormal community, becoming a major piece of evidence for Bigfoot believers. And he pointed to its authenticity, especially considering Freeman's reputation as a dedicated researcher. Skeptics were quick to respond. Some claimed the figure could have been a person in a costume, while others dismissed the whole thing as a hoax. But to this day, no one has definitely debunked the footage. So here we are decades later, and the Freeman footage still stands as one of the most compelling
about you, and it's no one else like you is what they're getting. Positive vibes only. Shout out to King Saul's boss in the building.
Jesus.
There are a lot of missing persons cases, especially those involving people who go hiking or camping in deep forests and never come back. If a wild animal has been involved, you'd expect to find some signs of torn clothing, blood, and even tracks, but in many of these cases, there's nothing. That's why some people believe something else is going on, something unnatural, and one case in particular has people shaken. A video was recovered deep in the woods. It belonged to a man who'd gone camping alone and had never returned. The footage captured on his camera was found by a search party several days later, just lying in the dirt. The video starts off calmly. He's filming the forest, setting up his tent, and talking about how peaceful the area is. But later that night, things take a dark turn. While he was trying to sleep, he began hearing strange noises outside his tent and something brushing against the fabric. You can hear the fear in his voice as he whispers to the camera, unsure of what's out there. Then something reaches into the tent. Panicked, he unzips the tent and runs into the darkness, filming everything as he sprints through the trees. At some point, he stumbles into an area filled with strange wooden formations, so he stops to catch his breath, pans the camera around, and that's when we see it. A tall, slender, bipedal creature. It was pale as bone and standing right in front of him. The camera is shaking too much to catch its face clearly, but its form is impossible to miss. Then the footage cuts out abruptly, and that was the last time anyone saw him. To this day, the man has never been found. His body was never recovered. All that remained was that unsettling video. Many believe the creature in the video was a skinwalker. If that's true, then what happened to this man might not be an isolated incident. How many others have vanished into the trees and were never to be seen again?
Leave me alone.
Okay, we are about to create the brand new Game of Thrones.
Jesus Christ.
A family was once awakened in the middle of the night by a loud thumping sound that echoed down the street like horses galloping right outside their home. But when they looked out, there was nothing there. No horses, no people, no cars, just an eerily empty street. So the family decided to set up a camera to capture whatever might be causing the strange sounds. Their neighborhood wasn't known to have any horses, especially roaming around at night, so something felt off. And when they finally reviewed the footage, what they saw left them completely shocked. In the dead of night, while everyone was fast asleep, the camera picked up something chilling. These black, shadowy masses, shaped vaguely like horses, raced across the street. You could clearly hear the loud galloping sounds, but these weren't ordinary horses. Their forms were unclear, almost like smoke or mist taking the shape of something once alive. The way the shadows moved looked like some sort of phantom replayed from the past. Were these the spirits of horses that once roamed the land, or something far more sinister? This next video was shared by a couple who just moved into a new apartment, but what was supposed to be a fresh start quickly turned into something else entirely. Not long after settling in, they started noticing strange things. First, small objects moved without explanation, and then came odd noises at night. At first, they brushed it off, but things didn't stop. They escalated. One night, the girlfriend was alone in the bedroom getting ready for bed. That's when she heard scratching. It was faint at first, but coming clearly from the bathroom. The bathroom door was slightly open, just enough for her to see the shower curtain from where she was, and that's when it happened. As the scratching grew louder and more aggressive, the shower curtain was violently yanked down. She screamed and ran out of the apartment immediately. Not long after, a boyfriend arrived. Shaken, they decided to block off the bathroom by covering the door with a curtain. Still, they didn't feel safe and ended up spending the night at a hotel. Not sure why they didn't just call the police, but they returned the next day where they encountered even stranger things. As they returned to their apartment, from the street below, they noticed something terrifying. The lights were on, and in the window, they saw a figure completely draped in black cloth from head to toe, just standing there, staring at them. When they finally gathered the courage to go upstairs, they found that the curtain they had used to block the bathroom door had been completely torn down, and the pins used to hold it in place were now carefully piled up right on top of the curtain. In their own words, they were horrified. There was no logical explanation except that someone or something was there with them. The thing, however, is there was no one, at least not in the sense of another human. They believe something is trying to scare them out of the apartment entirely. Looking at the clip, I'm tempted to agree, but the mystery is what and why. Would you eat a parasite if I gave you $1 million? Well, I'm no psychic, but I can already hear some of you in your homes shouting, hell no, and, well, yeah, I'm one of them. Before you say any more, allow me to tell you that you've been eating them all along if you've ever had any of these sweets. Hidden in the scarlet glow of your favorite candy or the rosy hue of the luscious dessert lies a dark parasitic secret. The cochineal bug. These tiny vampiric insects cling to cacti, draining them of life, only to be harvested by humans for their blood-red essence, carminic acid. Crushed and processed, their pigment becomes a prized dye used in sweets, yogurts, and even juices, cloaked behind names like Natural Red 4 or E120. Most unsuspecting consumers have no idea that the vivid colors in their treats are born from the dry
My fault. The beats is blasting. The beats is beating. We got some shit to unbox because you know we have new decks on the way. Wait, new waves for the play bay. Tell them to go play with their mother.
About you, and it's no one else like you is what they're getting. Positive vibes only. Shout out to King Saul's Balls in the building.
What are you talking about? Really being held captive. Okay? It is a hostage.
My life, son.
Sauce the boss. It's his birthday. Everybody wish him happy birthday.
Oh, this is big right here, y'all. Everybody wish Sauce, the official boss, happy birthday, man. Let's go. Let's see it in the timeline. I like to wish.
You know, it's a beautiful day. If you're feeling down, just get you a bag of that.
I like to wish Sauce the boss a happy birthday. I like to give a big shout to Ashley Gordon. Somebody said Ashley Gordon. Charlie Fields.
Let me on this track. Accidents to opera O's.
I like how that sounds.
Unconscious. Flow riding on my train.
Hit him in the scarlet glow with your favorite candy or the rose hue of the luscious dessert lies in the dark aromatic secret. The cochineal bark. These tiny vampiric insects cling to cacti, draining them of life, only to be harvested by humans for their blood-red essence, carbonate acid. Crushed and processed, never
How bad do you want success? I was holding my breath unconsciously. The conscious me woke up and came up for air. I turned 136 to the phone, but ain't dancing with chops. I guarantee them in the dreams. Fire miss, Mr. Clean. Dirty talk, come shots, Listerine. The devil tried to catch me slipping, but my third eye open. I see when I don't.
I like to give a big shout to Boyce Roseboro.
The pressure coming.
Choice been thorough.
You can count on the fingerless hand. How many people I can trust?
I like to say, hey girl.
Play insane. Meditate, bring down a plane with no passengers on it. Facing the blunt, putting managers on it. Pushing T attitude, cutting ways, malices wasn't on it.
It's Friday night and he's watching us on his birthday.
Friday night. He could be anywhere in the world. He's watching
Pigment
us.
becomes a prized dye used in sweets, yogurts, and even juices, cloaked behind names like Natural Red 4 or E120. Most unsuspecting consumers have no idea that the vivid colors in their treats are born from the dried remains of these clingy crimson parasites, nature's hidden ink, staining our palates with beauty and a whisper of the bizarre. Now that you know the truth, assuming you didn't see our earlier episode, would you keep indulging in your treats, or are you done with them now? The clip on your screen was captured in sedition until they started hearing strange sounds in the woods. Thinking there was a bear with them, they set up a camp, putting in the necessary precautions. They even got their trail cam set up just in case they caught something interesting. They then retired to their tents for the evening, and nothing eventful happened all night, and they concluded they were worried for nothing. That was until they reviewed the trail cam footage and realized something visited them that night. It was big, hairy, and dark. It also had the ability to stand in a humanoid stance. One of them initially thought that was proof of a bear there with them, but as they repeated the part of the footage where the creature appears, it became apparent that whatever that was, it was no bear. That's when it hit them. It could be a Bigfoot, but they weren't believing